Hi folks, welcome to Computer Davis tutorial. Here we are going to see what are the basic components of a C program. Here we have a list: semicolons, commands, identifiers, keywords. The semicolons. In every C program, we will use semicolon to end up each statement, and it is a must factor. We have to end the command, but it is not applicable for loops and functions, definitions, as well as declarations. We'll see it later. What are functions, what are declarations and definitions, and what are loops we are going to see as soon as possible. We are putting a semicolon here, we are not putting a semicolon here, and we are not putting here also. These are the things we have to see about semicolons. Let's go to commands. Commands. In this program I have a command, loops and functions. Whatever we give after the two double slash symbols are considered as commands by the compiler, and they won't be compiled or executed at any cost. We can give commands whenever and wherever it is possible, and it is advised to give commands wherever possible, because when you are working on a big organization, it is too tough or difficult for other personnels to view, inspect, check your code. So you must get into practice about using these commands. You have to use it everywhere in your program to let the inspector see your code and understand your code, and it may help that friend or that personnel to debug your code. And in commands we have two types of commands. This is single line command. We have a double slash followed by whatever command we want. This is called single line command. Let's include a star. This is a multi-line command. You can type anything in the next line, anything in the next line, until we close it with the same symbol, slash star star slash. From here to here, this won't be compiled or considered as commands by the compiler. That's all to the commands. Let's see identifiers. What are identifiers? Identifiers are nothing but variables. Why we use variables in a program? If we program for a single input, that is for 5 plus 5, this is not an optimized or well programmed one, because instead of using numbers we shall use variables. Because if we give numbers directly or the input directly into a program, it can only and execute that particular input. But different variable can change value dynamically and change the output according to that, and you can get whatever you want from a program. That's why we are using variables. And after that we are going to see what are identifiers. Why it is called identifier? Because if you here we have the declaration. This is A identifier and B identifier, Both are integer type variables. Both identifiers are integer type variables because they can store only integer variables. They can store 5, 6 and that kind of integer. We cannot store 7.5 because it's a decimal value. We cannot store decimal value in an integer variable. If you want to store a decimal, you must use another type, that is float. We can use float assign an decimal value. Likewise, we can have different types of. Let's see about the naming. In this naming, we have few restrictions to reduce the overhead of compiler. We can use whatever alphabets we want and whatever length you want, but there are some restrictions. Let's see what are them. We should not use symbols like this: brackets, semicolons, colons, less than, greater than symbols, dot, comma, etc. We should not use that kind of symbols. There is only one symbol which is accepted, that is underscore. Underscore is the only symbol which is permitted inside an identifier name, that too for documentation purpose. For this we are using underscore. To separate a word we should not use space also, so we are using underscore to maintain a space between them. Sometimes it may become impossible to understand such words, so underscore is used. And we can also use numbers in the identifier name, but we also have another restriction: numbers or underscore cannot be in the first of an identifier name. It may contain an underscore or number. Identifier name may contain number or underscore, but it cannot start with numbers or underscore. This is a very basic law in using identifiers. That's all with the identifiers. Let's go for keywords. What are keywords? What we have in the yellow font are all keywords. Integer, int is a keyword. Return is a keyword. Do is a keyword. While is a keyword. For is a keyword. Break is a keyword. These are all the keywords and they are used for specific purposes. They are also reserved, hence we cannot use it for another purposes. They cannot be used as function names. They cannot be used as identifier names. We should not use it because it changes the meaning of the code. If we have int as a keyword, here we use it to create a variable. In the next line, if you are naming a character variable as int, then it is absolutely a chaos. So to reduce the overhead to a compiler, it is not recommended and it can never be used. If you use, then compiler is ready to throw you an error. That's all about the basic components of the computer program, that is C program. and thanks for watching. Please feel free to subscribe us.